particularly true.
What?
I don't think you're autistic. I think you're fully capable of that. Autistic people tend not to be able to.
No, I'm not autistic.
Yeah, so that was my goal, just to kind of...
Dyslexic, yeah. Autistic, no. Whatever you do, don't bump your head.
Definitely will. I have a theory about autism kids. I have a theory that they are... the world is moving so quick right now. Things are coming in and out. So you almost took it out once already.
Like technology? You mean?
Yeah, things are just moving too quick. We're like in a spaceship all the time. Like, because we're on a big rock, you know? Like, that's what we are. We're just on a stupid rock that goes 60,000 miles around in circles. And then it also spins around a giant ball of fire in something that
sun.
Blew up. Yes.
Fire's the sun.
And I have this theory that everything is moving so quick. So, like, the original human, the original Homo sapien, was fully capable of that. They're fully capable of just dealing with the everyday challenges of eating and going out and getting water. But then, like, things started to happen. Like, we started to think that it was weird if you had a relation with somebody who was under a certain age. A completely arbitrary thing, something that doesn't matter. Right. And then we started developing, like, these governments. We start treating organizations instead of people, which they are, just a group of people.
Starting to organize.
Yeah.
People started to organize because it makes more sense to humans.
Makes it easier.
Right.
Giving jobs make it easier for the collective group. That's why the other animals that are so successful are like beehives, because they all have a job. They know their job.
Right. Humans don't know their job. Sometimes they don't even know.
We know our job.
What job they want to do.
Yeah. Well, we know our job, but we don't know the goal of our job. We know the goal of the job to push another revenue limit or to get a certain amount of speeding tickets. But we don't know what that does. We don't know how that connects to the rest of everything. Because I put it like this, like, you know how this is your brain's in there, and what I'm looking at right now is the same thing as a wall to a building, you know, and there's some things that keep the wall up, like the structure, and the paint is just kind of like your exterior. But if you go within your body, you have little cells, and these cells make up livers and hearts and whatever, and then the accumulation of that plus your skin plus your bones accumulate and develop a human. And this is what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at another human. And I look at the world as the same exact thing. That these people, these 7 billion people that somehow that take up every most land, that makes it easier to breathe in. That those people are cells. The same with the cells that are in your body. And the continents are the hearts. So, like, you have Africa, and then you have Europe, which is like Africa is the heart, right? That's where humans developed. That's where we started. Sub-Saharan Africa is where everything started, from an evolutional standpoint.
Right.
And that's debatable. And then, so these people are the cells. The people make up continents, which are the liver, heart, brain. And then that accumulation makes ultimately a human. But that's where it went wrong. That's like where and the autistic point is coming back.
Okay.
But that's where I think we've really struggled with. And it's like we've really messed up because our brains are so complex, but we just don't value that.
So powerful.
So powerful. And they do things without us. Like right now, I have multiple organisms doing whatever in my body. And I could peel over and die at any second, you know? Right. Like something could happen. And that's just, we take that for granted. We take the human body and the workings of it for granted. I think, and this is just my theory, I think that same thing is happening right now. You know, the heart's not always supposed to be functioning and talking to the liver, you know, but it does when it needs to.
Okay.
Same way where Africa gave life to everywhere. But we just kind of get rid of the pancreas, or we get rid of the heart. You know, I'm not too worried about the heart anymore. Right. So now our person's growing up looking lopsided, and you know, their back's a little hunched over. You know, they have a speech impediment now. They aren't intelligent, and that's like kind of what the humans. And it's because there's just too much going on. Just like right now, if I just showed you a bunch of lights, you would eventually have a seizure. But that's what's happening right now. Is a collective there's just too much nonsense going on.
I agree with you.
And it's clouding our vision, and it's like the outcome of that is just confusion. Hence, I think being an autistic person is one of the only ways you can get through this world without going essentially crazy. And all the autistic people I know, they just never seem too worried about anything besides their world.
Right, they seem to be focused on minor details in themselves instead of everything that's going on around them.
Mm-hmm. They're really interesting because they make you really start going black and white. Like, what is the meaning of the day? I forget the name of it, but there's things that we say to people like, "You're as big as an ant," and a person who autism is a spectrum, so it isn't like Down syndrome.
Right.
You can't be half Down syndrome.
Right.
You can't be half autistic, but there's a spectrum.
Right. Different levels or.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be high functioning, low functioning. High functioning, you meet those people every day. I would honestly argue that most top professors at universities are autistic because there's no way you could care about something so much and like get through the world. Yeah, I look at everything right now, and it's only 2019. We've only, from a religious standpoint, the world's only been human as we know it for 2,000 years. Right. But from an evolutional standpoint, 200,000 years, which seems like a lot, but it's nothing. Not really. It's nothing. And it's like just so much growth, technology-wise. But I always drive by Taylor's house, and there's kids that are outside playing. And it's like, oh, look at them. What are they doing? And then I think about like you and Dad, and it's always kind of blows my mind that, because even for me, like I grew up even going outside and playing and interacting, and I don't think that's like, when people say, oh, I grew up going outside, like, okay, that's fine, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, we get it. Maybe you're not going to die of skin cancer.
Well, we just had to kind of entertain ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I think, when somebody my age tells you, I grew up outside, drinking out of the water hose, bicycling everywhere, walking to school, not taking buses. I think what we're really trying to tell you or get the point across is that we had to do for ourselves, and we couldn't be entertained all this time. Mm-hmm. The only time I was entertained is when I got to watch cartoons on Saturdays mornings. Mm-hmm. Saturday mornings cartoons came on at 6 in the morning. They were done by 11. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
Now everything's at your fingertip.
Yeah. No one. If you run into somebody who's watching cable TV, that you think they're a psychopath.
Right. So I think when people say that to you, Mike, that's what they mean. Like, because you played outside.
And what do you think that's done for you? Like, how do you think? Like, do you think that's? I appreciate the outdoors more than most today. Yeah.
Because that's where I spend most of my favorable and most memorable memories outside. How
do you think like that affects like your cloudiness? Because I mean, I would assume that the people who grew up in the 70s and 80s, 60s, whatever, there's just a lot less nonsense going on in their head. Do you think that, like, growing up where there wasn't always new... Okay, this is a better question. Do you think the world that we live in is more dangerous than the world that you grew up in? Or do you think it's the same thing, just more outlets?
I think it's the same thing, but danger is easier to reach more people now. Mm-hmm. But I think when you use the word dangerous, if you're talking about criminals and and I use criminals in every sense of the word, people who track down other people for self-satisfaction or stealing money from people. I think it's easier now, and they've reached more people. I don't think the crime has gotten worse. It just affects more people because of today's society and how easy it is. Everything now is, I gotta know. And because of that, the media and the what we're doing right now, technology is good, and it's also been very bad because technology reaches people, and people love technology. And if you're not careful with it, you could become a victim of all kinds of stuff.
Don't you find it ironic though that the worst things about our society now are very barbaric and primitive actions taken by people, right? I mean, we get over all the technology hacks. Like that's not a biggie.
Or I'm sorry,
like even like the things that are most in our face, like most aggressive things, are things that are not activated, or at least nothing about them are fueled by technology, I would say.
Give me an example.
Like these people shooting up schools and stuff. I guess my question is, when you go to shoot up school, do you think? I guess maybe it is. Has something to do with technology, but so
I think they want to be heard. They want to be seen, and they want people to listen to them. And they know that it's going to be on news media. It's going to be on talk shows. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on this. People are filming and people are talking about the incident that just occurred.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as it's occurring.
Always.
Right.
Yeah. That's the cringiest thing is when you watch these breaking news stories and then they always have to update the deaths.
Right. I don't understand why the news media. Well, I know why the news media is doing it because it gets ratings. Which people are watching. People want to see it. So.
Not really though. That's what's crazy.
Right. But what bothers me is to even have it as it's live. Let's just say an active shooter. Mm-hmm. There's absolutely no need to have that telerize why it's happening. There's just no need for it.
How would you, if you were president, how would you go about?
Well, unfortunately, our Constitution is wide open to free press, free speech. Mm-hmm. So,
what about the shooting?
So I probably wouldn't try to crush that. I would try to encourage others, news media, on empathy.
Yeah.
And just common sense that if that was your people that you love being a victim, would you want to see it over and over again?
Yeah.
That kind of, I would try to push that, but I would never try to crush that amendment.
Yeah, like, what if they made a lot of the things that are coming out, I mean, real journalists are good journalists.
Absolutely, I agree.
And so it's like being a journalist is like, Twitter there's no barrier to entry. You know, I could tweet out the most ridiculous thing right now. I could use every racial slur possible, and it would get more attention than a true journalist. So do you think I guess what I wanted to ask is how do you deal with like the gun situation, but we can save that for later. But the outlet, like how do you get like these ways that information gets out? What if you could come up with because if you Google right now like the Constitution for journalists, it's out there. Like there's certain things that they have to do. Just like the government has to supply certain rights to people. There's certain things that journalists have to do. And the real journalists still follow that. But the journalists, like the people on The Onion or the people on Barstool Sports or whatever it is, they're not real journalists.
Right.
So do you think, what if they made it so like if you had Twitter or you had anything and if you wanted to put out any information for the public, you had to like sign a certain contract where it's like you're going to say nothing but the truth. And this is when it gets weird because then you're impeding on freedom of speech. It's like freedom of speech, I get it. Like I totally get it. Like you should have the freedom to say whatever you want. But if it's not truthful,
theory, it's wrong. In a real perfect world, that would be great.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to be heard, I would never sign that contract and do it anyway because there's no laws against it.
Yeah. So it's really strange.
Right. But that's why individual people have to better educate themselves and know what's bull and what's not bull.
So it comes down to education?
It comes down to individuality, individual people.
How do you what if someone presented you with, well, you know, what about the socioeconomic situation going on with inner cities? How long do we ever fix that? Or do we just keep on letting it go and we just try to fix it at the top because it's always these crazy white people, right? That's usually the theory is that there's crazy...
Depends on what city you're talking about.
People popped up on Xanax going out and shooting people, antidepressants. But if it's all about education, why don't you just make the best education? What if we all had to pay 10% more taxes each year to make the best schools possible? If it's all about education, why don't we take the best strides to make the education better?
I just feel like over decades and decades, of course, I'm 50 years old plus, so I can only speak on the decades that I've been alive.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing money at the school system isn't working.
No.
It's broken.
Because what if being a teacher was valued?
Then you're talking.
How would you do that?
Again, it comes back to self. It comes back to empathy. When you choose a path in life, it's because it's supposed to be, because that's what you see yourself doing and wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose a path that you want to do and you fail at it and you go a different direction, which I think a lot of people do, or they've been told they can't, so they go a different direction, or they had a setback, so they go a different direction, and they're not doing really what they want to do in their heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're at where we're at in society. A lot of people are doing things for money and not because they want to do it.
But money does make it more comfortable, right?
Of course it does. Being in law enforcement doesn't make any money. But I wouldn't do anything different.
Makes a decent amount of money.
Saving makes money.
I would say.
People who don't make money are usually pretty good savers.
Well, yeah, they're not making, so
Right.
probably not spending. Yeah, and I was talking to Taylor about this. I was talking to her about I think we're in Baltimore. And she's very intelligent. First of all, she's very intelligent. One of the most intelligent people I've met. Very articulate with what she says before she says anything. She looks to not offend people. But I love a quote by Jordan Peterson. If you actually want to have freedom of speech, you gotta risk yourself to being offensive.
Absolutely, I agree. Who said that?
Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Absolutely.
He's one of the most hated psychologists in the country.
I showed you some of him before.
Mm-hmm.
I showed Mom some of him before.
Yeah, he had Canada was trying to pass a law saying making it, which I'm all for, until it becomes law, like basically saying that you have to call someone by the proper pronoun before, or if you don't, there's a fine. Which is fine, I totally get if you don't want to be a him or she. I mean, this is strange because I used to believe that male and female was like, or being a woman and a man was like, that's what you are, but that's not true, and it's really hard. It's because I read a book about it. It's like, no, male and female is that. It is what it is, penis, vagina, and then there's transgenders. That's also a real thing. But then men and women, that is a social construct. That's completely different. Those are two separate things. Anyways, he got in trouble for saying, no, I'm not going to do that because what's next? What else are you taking away from? That's by me having to tell these people by the proper pronoun, and if I don't, I get in trouble. That's taking away my freedom of speech.
Right, now you're forcing something on another human being to satisfy another human being.
Yeah.
So where does that stop?
Well,
when did it even start?
Hitler. He did a pretty good job at it.
Yeah, he did.
He did actually. He's probably one of the greatest at it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I wouldn't say he was the best. I would say a lot of religious figures are pretty damn good at it. There's a billion people that are Muslim or
But we should
Catholic.
learn from those kind of leaders back in the day and know the kind of
like Hitler.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
We
I
should
agree.
totally learn from that and see and look back at history and see that kind of behavior doesn't work.
You can't even
we're heading
Google
that way again.
You can't even Google Hitler. Like if you type, how most things on Google you type in whatever, it comes up. Like if you type in HITL, what are you looking up? It won't finish at Hitler. You can't even look up Hitler, right? And the best way to
For some reason, in the last 7 to 10 years, humans are trying to erase history. They're trying to erase our histories, and I don't understand why. Because if you don't know your history, you're going to make the same mistakes.
That's a weird word, though, right? Erase? Because what does that even mean? Because you can't.
Right. I agree. But I feel like every time I'm turned around, a statue's coming down. Not allowed to fight.
But that makes sense,
flag,
right?
Not allowed to use words.
Yeah.
Not allowed to talk about Hitler anymore.
Yeah.
I don't understand. My father, my grandfather taught me history more than any public school book did.
Yeah.
And you learn it, and you either understand it and try not to. First of all, you try to understand the time period that it was, because that's kind of far-fetched too, right? Because you're living in today's world with yesterday's values. Sometimes people can get mixed up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, Americans were a bunch of a-holes when they came over here. I mean, we killed all the Native Americans. We put all the Japanese people in jail after World War II, and then we continued to have a freaking war where we took over half of Mexico and turned it into Texas.
Yeah, this great country has definitely been fought over. Very bloody, very painful.
And that's where I think the mistake is that it's so great about the Constitution, right? You know, it's always it's always hoorah America, right? And that was cool up until the point where everyone could connect with each other. You can talk like that.
Wait a minute, so you
Jake,
think
can
we all
take that,
connect?
Can you take that light and move it over just a little bit to the left?
So you think today's society,
Yeah.
people here in America all connect to each other?
Thank you. I'm not saying positive or negative. I'm just
Okay.
saying yes.
Okay.
It's possible.
I was just wondering. I was trying to.
Because I remember being in school, I never, like, slavery was like slavery. Then everyone will look at the one black kid in class and feel really guilty.
But I feel like there's main topics that you just talked about. You talk about World War II, World War I.
Yeah.
Slavery,
Right, they pick and choose.
War, and that's like
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's what I'm saying with the world as a human. It's like, America, are we really that great?
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, it's great.
I would want.
What it's built off of it.
I like it here in America. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't think I'd want to live anywhere else.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing. I like to bring up points of, like, I like, devil's advocate, because I think I saw Bernie Sanders on Joe Rogan. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I believe in abortion, but I also believe after 8 months, 7 months, what are you doing? I think if you want to get rid of a kid, get rid of a kid. Who gives a hell? I mean, if you want to get rid of a kid and then that kid's born, you wanted to kill that kid. Now that kid's born. You think that's going to be a good relationship? Mother-daughter? Mother-son? I wanted you out of my body. Now you're born. Right? It's a weird one. There's a reason why you want it out of your body. Unless you hit a psychosis state.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that. That's all. That's why. Comment.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense.
Makes sense. If you're a woman.
Your whole life, what he's saying is your whole pregnancy, this child is like disgrace. Like, you do not want this child to be born, and then it's born, and you're like, I wanted to kill you the whole time.
Yeah.
It's not a bond that at first, like, a mother and child should have.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's like, it's kind of, you're neglecting the kid.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I mean. I do think everyone should be able to own a gun, but I also believe that there's no reason for assault rifles to be in the country. I also believe, unless you're military, I also believe that even military people who get out of the military should be checked before they just grab guns, because PTSD, that's a real thing.
Well, you make a good point. You say they need to be checked after getting out of the military. I would like to use a better word. That I would like to say they should be examined.
Yeah, checked, examined.
They should go through a series of
mental health test.
Yes, absolutely.
Something like that.
Right, because even if you're not in an active war, you're still prepared and trained for the very worst, and that should be treated before coming back to a regular society. Absolutely.
Yeah. How much longer
I don't know if I agree with you. You said you don't think any weapons should be other than military in the United States.
I don't think there's no point. I don't think there's no point to have an assault rifle, an automatic weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no point.
I thought you said weapons in general.
Well, I mean, no. I think you should have a weapon. I think you should have a weapon. I mean, obviously, I think you should protect yourself. You should protect. Huh?
Not a weapon that you can fire
Repeatedly.
Automatic.
the only people doing that are trying to kill people. Even the guys in the military, they have that to kill a lot of people.
It should not be in a household.
Like that Dayton shooter at 32 seconds killed 17 people. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Right. Sad.
It's sad.
It
is sad, but we don't act like it's sad.
We need to start paying attention more to individual people, signs, get involved. Somewhere along the line, people stop telling on people because that's what it is. That's how,
snitches get stitches.
Right.
How
they perceive it. I tell you what, growing up in my neighborhood as a young child, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, I watched what I did because I knew it was going to get back to my folks. And if it got back to my folks were going to handle it. In today's society, people don't, they got blinders on. They don't worry about anyone but their own family and kids. Mm-hmm. And that's very selfish thing and dangerous. We're seeing it in schools. We're seeing it in young folks. We even see it in older folks, really. Mm-hmm. You know? You see old people struggling and doing stuff, just going to the grocery store or out and about, and people just look the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know where that started to happen and why, but
it was distracted.
Yeah, distracted. Yeah, right.
It was distracted.
You used to walk down the street and say hi to people. Now you walk down the street and can't even make eye contact because people are bent over looking at their phone or on a computer or something. It's just.
I have two sides about it. My first side is like,
I'm not saying it's bad.
No, I know. My first side is that's a bad thing, right? We should talk to more people. My other side is no. I don't want to fix that. That makes me look a lot better, right? If you're somebody with any sense of ethics at all, or if you're semi-polite, you're the greatest thing since putting tomato and cheese on bread.
Right, and why is that
pizza.
now?
Well, it's because so many people.
Rare.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. So it's kind of humor. It's like I don't want everyone to be good at the job because it makes me look so much better.
You're out, let's just say you're going to get some gas at the Wawa and you go inside to the Wawa, and there's someone in front of you. It can be a guy, it can be a girl, it can be a young child. Do you open up the door for them?
In the line?
Going into or
out into the Wawa? I will, yeah. But I also won't stand there like an idiot waiting for them because I've just got out the gas pump.
No, I'm saying
I
if
open
you're
the door.
entering kind of like at the same time as
yeah, but I won't say you're welcome. And I say thank you, but like if someone says thank you to me, I don't say you're welcome.
And why is that, you think?
Just don't want to.
Okay.
Because I did it for a good reason. I just don't want to.
And they appreciate it, so that's why they say.
Yeah, exactly. Like your welcome has always seemed to me like, oh, look at me, right?
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Oh, okay, yeah, that is weird.
Because you're always told as a kid, say you're welcome, or like, but it's like, what do you want? Like a back rub next?
All right, well, that's a different perspective.
Yeah.
I always say you're welcome because I want the person to know that I appreciated what they just did.
But the act that you did before, it's like if you have a good thing, another good thing, or let's say you go here, which is door open, thank you, here. No, this person feels they gotta do something.
Oh, so it's like,
just boom,
thank
boom.
you, you're welcome. No, you're welcome. No, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's
no,
weird.
I'm welcome. You better.
Yeah.
So I'm better.
Yeah, it's not like selfish, but it is a strange thing. I would never say you're welcome. I don't ever really do that because the best way to say you're welcome is just do something good again in the future.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
But I try not to go to Wawa. There's some strange people there, especially the one in Edgewater.
Coffee's the bomb.
Coffee's good. Do you drink coffee all summer? Like, do you drink hot coffee all summer, or do you just drink?
I haven't had a cold coffee like this. If that's what you want.
Is that a coffee? Yeah.
It's more like a dessert. In months.
You still drink Starbucks after they kick the 3 cops out?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like their coffee.
What you know? What's funny is I understand like there are cops and maybe, that I mean that's a microaggression, right? Being a cop.
Wait a minute. Say it again.
It's a microaggression.
I'm not sure what that means.
Microaggression. So at University of Harvard, I think, doesn't matter if I get it wrong because they still exist. Oh, Towson had it.
Oh, okay.
A microaggression, there's certain things that can make people feel scared. Okay. I'm a microaggression. Me as a person, my size makes people feel
intimidated.
Intimidated, yeah. and I can't get in trouble for it. But I could definitely call somebody to go into a room with a bunch of dogs and relax a little bit. Suffer.
What happened?
Suffer the pain.
So wait a minute.
How do you feel about microaggressions?
Well,
Rob's a microaggression.
The dogs?
I'm not really
Harvard had like pet dogs.
Oh,
Don't laugh at this. This is serious.
No, to relax.
To relax, yeah, because they saw me.
I thought you meant like people killing the dogs.
No. That's in China.
Yeah, it is in China.
Okay,
Have you ever seen images on that?
No,
Yes, but
That's a microaggression.
I'm interested in getting back of
So
you're calling
cops
you're
being
calling
like,
police
people
are
are
micro.
scared of them. They're intimidating.
Yeah. But
Police officers are intimidating.
all I'm saying is we don't know what maybe they farted very loudly and that didn't make the news.
Okay.
You hear sometimes people do let off a fart that is pretty aggressive. But then again,
I have no comment.
yesterday at work, somebody apparently threw up in our trash can. And this is, I guess, how dirty I am. That's weird. You know, that's really weird. If I was a psychologist right now and I just said throw up and you went right to your drink.
Have you ever had like baby throw up in the back of your throat? And you just want to get the drink, like to get it down to get rid of that taste?
No.
Yes, you have.
Absolutely. Not with something that looks like throw up.
But it tastes like chocolate.
If you would rank your senses, mother, into the top, not best. I'm not saying best to worst, but what I'm saying is the most necessary for you to function as a human.
Okay, what's the question?
Your top 5 senses that like you need to be Rebecca Labs. And here's the census. We go touch, we go taste, we go smell. I'm testing if I do.
Okay.
We go taste, smell. Our smell is basically non-existent. Did you know a polar bear or a brown bear can smell something from 20 miles away?
Focus.
Or suck. We have
Name
non-existing smell.
When you
Matt,
sneeze.
they sit. What?
When you sneeze.
When you sneeze.
Touch.
So we have touch, taste, sight, smell, and audio.
Yes.
Here.
Give me your 5.
I have those 5s also.
From least to greatest, like what?
Oh, my top.
Like if I got rid of something, I would. Like that's not my mom anymore. That would be like the number 1, and then the last one would be like I got rid of something, and I would just look at you. I wouldn't have to double take. I'd be like, yeah.
Make you.
What makes me is definitely my audio.
Audio. That.
I talk a lot.
God, you just let the cat out of the bag. You go like what's unnecessary. That's like someone going top 10 plays to start with 1 and then ending off with 10. Like that. Once again, we that is crazy. Drinking a throw up looking.
Wait a minute. Are you just here to tell me?
So maybe your
crazy?
visual would be at the bottom.
Okay. I like this is my 1.
I hope you like them all. You have no choice.
This is my 1 through 5.
Okay. No, 5 through 1.
Okay.
Let's move up there, not down
Least
it.
to greatest.
Least the greatest. That makes it different.
Least necessary to greatest necessary.
Touch is my least.
Touch.
Then I would say.
I agree. I don't think touch is stupid.
I would say touch is my least.
What does touch even mean?
And then the next is smell.
We'll find comfort with touch.
And then third would be
Maybe girls.
Guys too.
audio.
That was just your first a minute ago.
I know, but we switched it around with the 1 to 5 thing. Now I got it. So
But 3 would have not been in the middle. It would. Sorry. You good.
where was I?
So far you've
Do you
done
remember what you said?
touch, taste, smell, audio. You have taste and sight left.
I would probably say taste and then sight.
So you think sight's like
Is the most important.
most important?
I think so.
Yeah. What makes you say that?
Because I've always had it.
You've had all 5 of them.
But can't imagine not having it.
That's not true. I don't think babies.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I if I were to go blind tomorrow, I think it would be an absolutely devastating thing for me.
Do you think?
Even though I have seen.
Yeah, because my thing is like, I'm still young. But well, I'm young for a human, but not for like for a fruit fly.
Birthday next month.
For a fruit fly, I'm pretty freaking old. Yeah, guys, my birthday next month,
September.
September 9th.
9/9. 1996.
23. Freshman in college.
He's like a
Junior.
Senior.
What?
Senior.
I went to sign up for my classes at Towson, and I had those two ladies in there. First of all, they're doing they're doing all kinds of construction. So to get to the parking garage to the Bursa or what, I don't know, whatever the stupid business. Yeah, but like for business people.
Was it a task?
It was like I needed a hard hat essentially. I was dodging nails and drywood, and I go up there, and they say, "What are you here for?" I'm like, to go to school, right? I mean, look, I'm 23. I'm not. Why else would I be going to school?
But they wanted to know what you needed in that moment, probably.
Of course.
Okay, so
I'm in the sign-up department at school for the business department. This is what I mean when I say education. Like these are the bases we need to cover. Like and like the same people that ask how the weather is, like, shut the hell up. Why? What are you doing? Stop wasting breath. What if you had 5 words left? You just asked me how is the weather today? Those are your last 5 words. Stop. Anyways, I go up there and the first thing I say is, wait, you think they're gonna have that done in like 4 years? They're like, at Towson we get it done in 1 year. I look at them, I'm like, you're crazy. That's not happening. I'm not going in that building if that's done in 1 year. Right. And if I do, I'm getting a lawyer and I'm suing because that's absurd. Anyways, I had these two ladies just dying laughing.
Were they able to help you?
I asked her, I said, is there any hope for me? Should I even waste my time trying to get a degree? And she says, she didn't say, no, you're good. She didn't say that. But she also didn't say, no, there's hope for you. She was like, see, you got this math class and you have to get an A in it. But if you don't get it, and I was like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. You know, because I wanted to test my...
How many classes do you need?
Huh?
Haven't you taken like...
Did you fail like all of them?
I'm taking 3 classes this semester that I've taken already twice.
Why?
Because I didn't...
Did you see
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which I think that's an advantage, honestly. I think that's pretty tight.
Oh, I'm good. As long as you're happy.
Loose.
Huh? Working on my glutes?
No, I think it's loose.
Loose.
You said tight.
If I said the word to you, moist? What sense flares up the most when I say moist?
My mouth. My mouth is moist.
What about the drink? What texture is that drink?
Wet.
Throw up.
Pardon me?
Throw up.
Here we go with the throw up again.
You don't have an answer, do you?
I don't know what you want.
You accept all forms. You accept just straight gagging with nothing coming out.
What do you think of throw up? What kind
Texture.
of sense?
Texture-wise. So touch. We're going off of touch.
If you say throw up, I think smell.
Smell?
Ugh.
So would you think I'm a psychopath? Yesterday I peed in the same toilet 6 times. So first off, Taylor thinks I'm crazy for this. I think I'm a little crazy for this too. I walk into the bathroom first thing when I get to work. There's throw up in the toilet. I mean in the trash can. If you walk into work and you have a 6-hour shift, what do you do right when you walk in? You see throw up in the trash can. What would you do? You're a competent person.
I would probably, if I walked to the bathroom to use the bathroom to go to the potty, I would go in, do my business, come back out, and go tell maintenance that there's throw up in the bathroom and go clean it out.
You wouldn't just take one sheet of the paper towel and put it on top of the trash can.
Absolutely
out of
not.
sight, out of mind.
Absolutely not.
That's what I did.
Well, if that worked for you, then I'm good.
I did that. And then
that is different.
So I kept on, but then I continued to pee like 7 or 8 more times.
Well, on top of the trash can?
Yeah, because someone just threw up in the trash can. And I just saw it, so I just covered up so I didn't have to see it.
So basically I did exactly what you would have done, except for covering it.
Yeah, but you would have got it out of there. You wouldn't just continue to...
Oh, no. Once I left, I would have definitely had that cleaned up, yes.
Yeah, you would have definitely...
Did you leave and never... You went
never
back?
did. Never.
Did again?
Just kept on peeing.
So...
And you know what I thought? You know what I thought when I smelled it? That's a weird smell.
Yeah, stinky.
Didn't think throw up, even though I looked at the throw up. I also don't mind throw up. I like throwing up.
Different throw up smells... Different reasons for throw up smells different. Mm-hmm. An alcoholic induced throw up is horrible. A sick throw up might be just that. And then
like
you got...
Good?
Maybe because you're at the gym, somebody worked out so hard that they threw up. So I'm just thinking...
But they're all throwing up the same thing.
Yeah, it's all nasty, but...
It's all nasty. So I have people just peeing in this toilet all night. No one says anything to me because the smell is.
You covered it up.
Yeah.
I just covered it with
care
a
of it.
napkin or a paper towel though.
Took care of
We're
it.
not gonna go.
And then Taylor goes into the bathroom. She said that is the worst smell. It smells like throw up. I'm like, yeah, I know. I say, yeah, I know. She's
Well, maybe
like,
her scent is her.
but then she's like, it's all under the toilet. I was like, what are you talking about? And I look on the toilet and it's screeching. It's going down the toilet.
Oh wow.
And then just by her saying that, first off, I was like, I need to go to rehab because I'm crazy because all I did was take a paper towel and put it over top.
It didn't bother you as much. It doesn't make you crazy.
But it does though. It does in a place where people use the bathroom.
Okay.
It's like if you go to a restaurant and someone throws up in the sink, you just leave it there. It's my duty to clean that up.
No,
At least
it's not your duty. It's maintenance duty. Leave it to the professionals.
at the restaurant one time, I had to carry. I had to clean up period blood that was smeared all over the bathroom wall, and I had no issue with it either.
Okay, can we change the subject?
But do you think that's crazy?
I have no comment.
I threw some gloves on. I just mopped up the walls.
Okay, good.
So how was your childhood? First of all, how many offspring? How many fellow sperms do you have in this world? Jen's my fellow sperm.
Oh.
So I guess brothers, sisters, hermaphrodites.
I have 6 alive.
6 alive.
Yes.
Sisters?
I have 3 sisters. Then there's me. And 2 brothers.
Wait. How many sisters?
Kathy.
Okay, you said 3 sisters.
Joanna. Jackie. Lillian. 4 sisters.
4
and
sisters.
then me. 5.
Who'd you forget the first time?
Lillian.
Oof.
Hope she's not watching.
You can lie.
What about Joanne?
I know that's the one I thought.
Forget Joanne.
I thought she'd like. How was your childhood? Was it? Did you guys have a lot? Did you guys
Well, it's kind of funny you ask that question because as a child, I thought we were rich. Thought we had a lot, yes. Of course, as an adult, looking back, we still had a lot, but we just didn't have overabundance. We had a roof, never hungry, clothes, accessories, right?
accessories?
That we need.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed my childhood. I had a lot of fun. Learned a lot growing up.
How many were in the house when you were growing up?
Say it again?
How many were in the house when you were growing up?
My brother, my sister, me, mother and father.
So there was 2 people already moved out.
Yeah, we always had people coming and going though from different.
Like
My older brothers and sisters, if they were in between places. There was always a spare bedroom that they could come and stay until they found another place to stay.
what was your first job?
Very first job, babysitting
Really?
for my family. Yeah, I
Did you
used
get
to
paid?
babysit my nephews and nieces
Who are they?
as a young child. I babysat John Cadoti.
Hold up.
Babysat Tommy Cadoti.
John.
I babysat Wilford Potter.
Okay. John Cadoti. Nailed it.
Tommy.
Second one, Tommy. Not military Tommy.
Not military Tommy. No,
Okay.
never babysat him.
So we got. You just called Wilford your nephew?
Yes, Maureen's son.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the other nephews.
How much older
and
were you
nieces,
than them?
I'm always between 4 and 5 years older than them.
So
But
you were
my
like
other
16
nieces and
babysitting
nephews,
13
we
year
were
olds?
about the same age, so I never babysat. I played with them, but we never babysat.
That's interesting.
So,
You got paid for that? To play with them?
Did you get money?
no, I didn't get cash, but I got trips.
Trips?
Yeah.
What kind of trips?
So if you play with them, you get a trip.
Yeah, like I would watch them while their folks was either working or going like on a date night or something, and then the following Saturday they would include me in King's Dominion or
Oh.
or a movie or something like that, because in my family, we didn't do that too much.
Do what?
Mom, dad, brother, sister, we didn't have like movie night or dinner night. So my sisters and brothers made sure that the three of us had those kind of different activities.
So you guys were, your parents would buy the trips for you after?
Whoever I was babysitting for.
Their parents would buy you trips?
Yeah, let's say Maureen, I was babysitting Wilford, and then she would say, "Oh, you know what? Why don't you come over, Becky?" And
where was she at this time?
where was she?
Yeah, where was she at?
I think she lived in Silver Spring, in an apartment at that time.
Was she on her own or no?
Her and her son, yes.
Her and her son.
And then my second job, I was 14. I was a lot like you, Mike. I was a young high school student. Younger. Most people go to high school and they're 15 already. But I was 14.
I was like, yeah, that's true. But then I was like, wait, there's 3 more months. There's still 25% of people that are younger than me.
Yeah, but for some reason.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So
I knew this Russian who was like 20 when I was going to school. And I didn't think anything of it. Now looking back at it, I'm like, damn it, I shouldn't have told him about things. Definitely a spy.
So in 9th grade, I knew eventually I'll be 16, right? And I wanted a car. So I worked at a neighborhood, Roy Rogers, which was 5 blocks from my house growing up. So I would walk there after school and during summers. And I was a cashier.
Did you like it?
That for a long time, saved up money for a car.
Did you ever cook?
French fries.
Did you mess up a lot as a cashier?
Yeah,
Sorry, what was the question?
Did you ever get pissed off? Did you ever get angry customers?
Did I ever what?
Get angry customers?
Oh, yeah.
So, daycare, what was the restaurant? You said White Castle?
No, Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers. After that?
I was in 12th grade and did work study, which was I only needed my English credit. Mm-hmm. So I would go to English in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And then they found me a government job at Harry Diamond Laboratories. And I would drive out there, and I was like a data entry lady. Mm-hmm. Top secret. I had top clearance. Had no idea what I was typing.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What was the clearance?
Because I was taking...
Like NSA clearance?
It was top secret clearance for Harry Diamond, which was Army laboratory, and I was taking...
Sounds like a really rich strip club owner.
It was up in Bellsville. But no, it was government. So...
What a crack.
I was taking numbers and enter that data into a machine that translated those numbers into words. Of course, I wouldn't know what they were. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I was top secret is because I was sworn to...
So they were using you as a puppet to send, like, terrible message to the people of Russia.
I have no idea what
you have no idea. Do you ever think about that?
I was 17 and getting paid.
So you weren't even an adult yet. So they made sure that you weren't even an adult. So if you did get in trouble, you couldn't even be tried as an adult.
Right.
It's all coming together now, right?
I don't look at it like that.
I do.
But then from there, I knew I wanted to be a police officer. So
you knew that from the beginning?
I still had I knew that I'd probably say 9th or 10th grade.
Why? Did you get arrested a lot, or?
No, I saw what was going on around me, and I wanted to be part of the solution and not the problem.
You wanted to end that nonsense.
Pardon me?
You wanted to end that nonsense.
I wanted to help people.
You wanted to help people, so you chose to become a cop.
I always took up for the underdog. I always approached bullies. Which is odd because I was the youngest, right, of all the kids.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how the cops do that.
They do it every day.
They just get rid of negative people.
They help people every day. I would probably say...
Did you ever want to be like
80% of their
EMS?
job is self-initiative. Helping somebody change a tire, getting waved over,
that's
directions.
That's the point I'm trying to get. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think nowadays, not nowadays, but I don't know if people understand that that's what a cop does. Cops are kind of boring, right? It's kind of a boring job most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're always waiting for the next time you can help someone or the big one.
Did you watch a TV show that made you want to become a cop, or you just saw people getting their faces beaten in?
You told me one time, Mom.
Well, my brother-in-law was a police officer.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Jackie's first.
Oh yeah, DC, right?
Yeah, DC, Tommy Godody, and he would come home and tell stories, and I just thought it was so cool.
You told me one time, when I asked why you wanted to be a cop, you said I was either going to be the one in the uniform or the one getting arrested.
Like I said, part of the solution or part of the problem.
What did you say to Jen?
I think there's a path in everybody's youth that describes what I'm about to say. Definitely describes my youth. If I stayed on the path that people were taking me, I could have easily been the one in jail.
Yeah.
But I chose not to.
So it was basically a saving grace. It was
Absolutely.
out of this.
Absolutely. I knew I had to do something, and that's what I wanted to do. And 30 years later, it's made a good home for myself and my kids, my family.
It's so interesting you say that, because my whole life, every time I've heard about a cop story, that made me want to not become a cop even more.
You never heard that from Mom and Dad, did you?
What?
A story that you didn't want to be?
And no, every story that you or Dad share about being a cop
Yeah.
makes me want to not be a cop.
That's what I've...
Makes me want to not be a cop. I'm not saying that in a negative way.
No, I just never thought about that.
Yeah. And I think, because I get the question all the time, like, do you want to be a cop? And I, like, no. Why would I?
Why is that?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I will say the last 10 years, and I think any youth will agree with me, the last 10 years, police have been negatively viewed in the public.
Rightfully so, right?
Some legit. I'm not going.
Yeah.
Some legit. So I'm wondering if that had anything to do with your thought process.
I don't know.
The stories.
Not the stories. I could handle that.
Well, like the stories they would share with us, and then I would hear them in the bathroom discussing work.
Yeah.
Related things that they would never share with us.
Yes. Obviously, we didn't do a good job at
No.
keeping that quiet.
This isn't a therapy session.
This isn't a therapy session. That's not the goal
Thank goodness.
of this.
That's what made me...
No, but I always found that interesting when people ask me, like, if I come from let's say you are an accountant and Rob is a doctor, or you're a doctor, and,
Right.
people wouldn't be like, oh, so you're going to be...
A doctor.
Well, they might say that, but they would say, oh, you're going to be an accountant.
Right. No, I've had people ask me about YouTube too.
Yeah.
Michael Jen, they're such good kids. They don't do this, they don't do that, and they're so good at this. Are they going to be a cop? Do they ever want to be a cop? And my answer to them is no.
Absolutely
They're
not.
like, what?
Well, my determining factor was when someone told you that you had to be at... my determining factor was when you're given salary, and then there's certain hours you have to fill for that.
Certain what?
Like, there's certain hours. I was like, wait, hold up. So you're telling me I have to get a job where I have to be somewhere because I'm getting prepaid? Like, somehow they put the burden on me.
You have to start at minimum level.
Yeah.
To get some jobs, you have to start here to get the knowledge, training, and education to get to here. Because there's no way that you can get to here without knowing the basics.
Unless your dad's
And
younger.
that's exactly police. You have got to be a police officer on the streets before you can get into any kind of specialty unit. If you want to be successful.
But you weren't thinking about moving up to sergeant, captain, whatever.
Not at all.
Not when you went in. You just went in because you needed a job. Because college wasn't in the picture. Why wasn't college ever in the picture?
Money, finance.
Finance was same reason for me too, right? I didn't want to make people pay for college. That was a selfish act, and that's it.
Well, no, we didn't. I couldn't even make it. My parents did not have the financial. they wouldn't be able to put me through college now.
How did that conversation go? Was it like, go to college, or was it like, let's not bring it up because that brings up the fact that we don't have money?
We brought it up, and it was always, you'll have to get a loan for that.
Yeah.
But it was almost unspoken because I already knew.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. I just knew that, my dad didn't work too much by the time I was born.
Yeah. Same reason with me. I mean, I'd never spoken college because I already knew that I wasn't for me. It was the same thing that you had. It was like, the money's there, and I could, but I was, it was just like, I don't really know if if you go to college, you really have to enjoy what you're studying. And I was like, there was nothing I really enjoyed. Right. Like, I enjoyed baseball, but I'm not good enough to make it a big, like, let's be honest here.
Right.
Like, not good enough. Never would be. Just not capable of it. Physically and mentally.
I think, though, if my mother and father came to me in high school and said, where would you like to go to college? Because we can afford it. I would have probably done what you did and attempted.
Yeah.
See if I liked it. I don't know if I would be successful or not.
Yeah.
I went back as an adult. I'm up around 48 credits.
Yeah.
I'm 52, and I probably won't finish that. And I'm okay with that. Yeah,
college is weird. It's like, there's like for some reason, because there's no law in college where it comes in and says, oh, after 25, you can't be here. That's that's such a social thing.
Actually, it's free if you're over 60.
It's what?
You could get some free education in college if you're over 60.
Yeah, what if we just didn't stack high school and the college right together? What if we said high school, then college, whenever?
I don't know.
Then you have a lot happier people. Because I know a lot of my friends, they picked a degree that they absolutely hated, and now they absolutely hate their job that they got.
Right.
It was and then they're confused about it. I was like, well, yeah, but no wonder.
Right.
I mean, no wonder you absolutely hate your job.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, anything else you wanted to talk about?
I
think we just hit the hour and...
We've already done an hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, just thank you. This has been enjoyable.
Yeah. Anything at all?
I like to have a second appearance.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, that's the goal with this, guys. I want to get many guests on as we can. It is at my house, so I can't have some of my friends are a little odd, so I can't have everybody over. But I definitely want to have people on the podcast, and the goal is, obviously, this is my first podcast with somebody else, but the goal is to act like a camera's not there, just have conversations and whatever. This one's a little bit more questiony, but that's totally fine. For someone who doesn't like to be on camera, I didn't want to just go in just completely blind. I had to have some skeleton. But with that being said, guys, for the next episode, I'm planning on hopefully doing another guest. I think I'm going to have my buddy Charles on. We're going to talk about childhood, whatever. Whatever. Who cares? I don't want to even have a predetermined idea. That's going to block me off from what is actually going to get accomplished. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with your family and friends. If you guys are listening to this on iTunes, Apple, Spotify, or SoundCloud, please leave it a rating. Thank you for being on the podcast. We'll have my dad on soon.
When you told me we were going to talk for about an hour, I thought I was going to die. I'm like, there's no way I can talk for an hour, but
not an interview.
It's good. I like it. Thank you.
Well, it's good that your mother can talk to you for an hour, guys. Right? That's a good thing. Hopefully the father will be on here soon. That should be an interesting one. If you guys want to get your fathers to watch that one with you, that would be a very interesting podcast. We might have to put a wall between both of us. Trump, where you at, buddy? All right, guys, I'm going to end this episode here. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great, great evening and week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All good? We're done?